HowTo in a few. Today we're going to take a look at completely refitting this acid neutralizer filter. So we don't really quite know what's going on with it, but other than it doesn't seem to be working right when we direct water to go through it. It was found and is currently in bypass mode where it bypasses this filter. And since the water here is slightly acidic, it's going to damage some of the copper pipes in the house if we don't make sure that this works correctly relatively soon. So having looked in it already and seeing some weirdly discolored clay material, it's not set up the way that it's supposed to be and not working, so we're going to go ahead and redo the whole thing. Now in order to do that, I'm going to need access to a hose so I can kind of flush out the media that's still in there. So first thing we're going to do is make us a little bypass here so that we can take this filter out but still utilize the plumbing to run the hose. So I went ahead and purchased a piece of 1-inch pipe and some union fittings that would fit on there. With the O-rings, and so this will take the place, hopefully match the thread, and we'll just be able to use that straight on there. And since we're not going to be utilizing this as a permanent thing, we'll just, we're going to makeshift this real quick. Kind of eyeball distance. Man, I hope these match up. Let's see what happens around here. Hoping to beat the rain, but I'm starting to feel some little drops. I'm gonna turn this on because this the pump is already off, so all that's left is like the residual pressure, and I'm gonna alleviate that so I can undo this filter. Alright, with the filter removed, I'm unscrewing the top port, and there should be a pipe, and it is coming up. Normally you want this to remain. Oh, it's not wanting to remain. Alright, we're going to have to work on that. So this should actually remain and stay in the device. This is what worried me. There is orange-ish water coming out of there from the base, and it is not supposed to be orange. It should be white. We are getting sprinkled on, so this project's gonna go on hold. Go ahead and install our little bypass. Which should allow us to get our water working again. Okay, day 2 on this project. Several things have happened. For one, we got rained on and had to stop the project yesterday midstream. Fortunately, I had kind of taken some precautions in making this bypass so I could use a hose. It also allowed me to have water until the next day. And meantime, we did empty this out. There was only gravel left in it, no calcite media, so this filter was not doing what it was supposed to be doing, or neutralizing the acid for who knows how long. So we are getting ready to set that all back up again. And the other thing that happened was, while I was trying to remove this suction pipe from the cap, it was jammed in there pretty good, so I tapped on it a little bit and I broke this fitting off of it. So I was going to attempt to just reuse it, but after putting a little effort in that, I decided just to go to the supply store relatively close nearby and get this replacement cap. Alright, so what I'm going to do next is get this all orientated and fill this. The gravel is going to go in first. I'm going to use a piece of tape. This has to be centered right in the middle, and there's kind of a dimple, so you'll be able to tell fairly easily that you're in the right place. So this will be in there close to the bottom, and the gravel will fill in first over this kind of screen that's going to allow water to come down here, go into the gravel, and then upwards through the media. Then we'll put the cap on. I'm going to have it in place, and we'll undo this. I'm going to let the water pressure out of it in a second. We're actually going to utilize this temporary part by making some cuts here and then inserting those pieces into these 1-inch fittings. Alright, let's get started. Alright, I taped over this cover a little bit. So you can't really see it, but the pipe's in there. I taped over the top. And I'm going to go get the funnel now. Okay, because this is going to get much heavier in a minute, I'm going to go ahead and position it fairly close to where I want to be. And I'm going to alleviate the water pressure at this point. And I think I'll do that through the hose so that I can do that elsewhere. Alright, first step of this is the gravel. We're going to go ahead and start. I'm a little concerned about my tape job because I don't want rocks to go where the gravel or the calcite to go where it's not supposed to. Fairly even. Next thing is we're going to put in 2 50-pound bags of calcite. That's what the pump place said it calls for. I don't know, may vary based on application, but Alright, first bag down. Try not to inhale this. It's got a cancer warning on it. As you see me stick my nose in it. It's heavy. But it's getting lighter all the time. Alright, we're getting pretty close to the finish line. Alright, I got a little bit of the calcite on the threads. So, since I don't have water pressure, I'm going to rinse that off with a bottle of water. Now our new cap has this strainer on it. It needs to kind of be locked in place. There we go. And then I've got some new fittings. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my tape carefully, trying not to raise this pipe out of the media. So I'm using one finger to hold it down in place. Of course, I use that really good tape, so it's stuck. Just gonna make sure the surface is clean, because that's where the O-ring's gonna seal and seat to. Now, one of the things the guy told me was that from the pump, it had to go into the outside, which is a little counterintuitive. So I think that's going to be our orientation. Of course, I am a little tool deprived, as I mentioned in other videos, but we're gonna go with channel locks, or maybe pipe wrench to insert our fittings. I'm going to Teflon this. And get like 2 wraps on the front, and then I'll move over a little bit. These should kind of be tapered already. And I'll do 3 wraps on part a little bit further in. To be honest with you, I can't possibly imagine that there would be a leak at this point. Pretty sure they reach an end. So we'll go flush. Alright, next part, we're going to have to gauge roughly where we want to make our cuts. We do have some flexibility, so normally I would coat both sides, but we're going to go All right. So there was a little bit of pressure still in the system because I had turned this off. So I'm going to let that bleed through. You can feel the air. So this is filling slowly at low pressure. That's actually quite pleased because I don't want it to violently fill and then like bubble up or rearrange the gravel. So a nice, slow, looks like about 5 pounds of pressure. All right, getting impatient. Alright, we have the water flowing, and we're going to let that go. It's still a little milky. Once that clears up, we'll reattach the connection and we'll be done. Okay, we're all done here. Got everything reattached. We had a small leak here that we remedied by just tightening up this fitting. Probably should have replaced all that new. We're going to go ahead and roll with this until something else happens. Got our water pressure back. So everything's good, and we know that we are treating water now with calcite to raise the pH to an acceptable level. So hopefully that helped you out. If so, give me a thumbs up, click the subscribe button. That always goes a long way to help YouTubers like me keep making videos for viewers like you. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time.